we'll get started and hope that the technical difficulties work themselves out. Tonight we're going to make, I don't know.
It's not letting me share. It's trying to post ads. Back to creations, not Jeanette. I've changed the stupid little icon thing a dozen times.
She can hear me.
I said your audio is fine.
Share. Here, do it on my phone. Cause it's. Let's see if it'll do it on my phone. Modern technology. I had share button hit up. Okay, so today I made a farm fresh pumpkin sign, and some people voted on what we were going to make tonight, and those who voted voted on the fresh pumpkin. We still did print the other one. I'm going to put these in my Etsy shop, so these will be available. Hello Autumn with the turkey, like what's on the wobble or gobble till you wobble, and then we're going to make this one tonight. So I did already prep a lot of my stuff again. Good thing because of the technical difficulties, huh? So we're just going to use 2 ribbons tonight because last week's catastrophe with the ribbons. Huh?
We're not going to be able to use it.
2 ribbons. He's not listening. So we're going to use green plaid and then our pumpkin 1.5 inch to go with our pumpkin. Then we're going to do the woodland ruffle and with the base with the black and white mesh, and then on top we're going to do some orange with black border ruffles, and then we have some burgundy, cream, and moss green bundles to put where the where the ruffles are not. So can't talk tonight. So let's get started. These are 25 inches. The last ones that I made were 30. They seem a little long. I mean, it'll just make it fuller the longer you make them. So this is a 14-inch Dollar Tree wreath form. I ran out of all the same colors, so there are 2 colors. I have 10 chenille stems on the outside and 8 on the inside. I always do a cross member in the middle, so make sure if you want to put your sign, attach it to there. Sometimes your embellishments, your bows, your signs don't match up with the wreath form, so we put a crisscross in the back, so that allows you to attach there. So then again, my black and white is cut at 25 inches, and we're going to do a woodland ruffle. Somebody posted today on one of the sites, they wanted to know what a cruffle was, and that was somebody's term for a woodland ruffle. I forget who designed the woodland ruffle, but somebody decided they wanted to change the name, and really you shouldn't do that. Once somebody designs something, you should always stick with the original name. Okay, so let's get started. So on the woodland ruffle, 25 inches, we're going to roll each side about 3 to 4 times, and then we're going to ruffle it in the middle. So what I do is I roll them. Some people will use a tube. This is out into your mesh. Some people use the tube to do it and then pull it out. I like my rolls to be just a little bit tighter than that. And then I use a clothespin, chip clip. You always use you can use a little weight. These aren't rolling too bad. Once you get to the middle part of the roll, they'll start rolling really bad on you. And then so this is this is your 2 rolls, and then you're just gonna walk it up in the middle until they come together. and this is a woodland ruffle. If you don't want, you can roll it 1 or 2 times. Kind of just depends on how much ruffle you want in the middle. And then attach it on there. Give it a couple twists to make sure it's on there nice and secure. Hi, Angela. We're having a lot of delay tonight. Video game update. I'm wondering. Start doing my lives where he gets home from work. Time to get business. Yeah, maybe. Floyd hooked my TV up to my laptop, so now I can, instead of reaching down looking in my bifocals, reading your guys' comments, I can see him a lot better. See, they kind of look like a butterfly going on there. So you can turn them this way, you can turn them this way. Kind of just depends on your preference. Walk it up through the middle. Try to stay in the middle. Don't go off to the side or else you'll have a lopsided ruffle. Right before we came on, I was making a burlap wreath. I don't know if I could do a live with that because that's kind of boring. I love black and white mesh. It's kind of that, it's like a little, the black is not, it's not foil, but it kind of just in the light it dances a little bit. It's a little bit shiny. I like the foil mesh, but it's not always practical in all applications. 4th of July it was. Floyd designed a couple breast cancer awareness signs that will, I don't know if I'll have them in the shop yet before I make them or not, probably. October is all about being pink. See how once you start getting towards the middle, your mesh is gonna kind of want to come back on you. Just use a weight, your phone, scissors, anything. I made some pretty little weights. Almost around to the round one. clip. John really likes the license plate. I seen the picture of it. Lloyd showed me the picture of it on the bus. He's made some few interesting ones this week for some people. That's for sure. I haven't even got mine on the truck yet. It's still sitting behind me. Last one in the outer ring. So this is what your outer ring will look like. You can still see your wire ring, but once we get everything in there, you won't be able to see it anymore. So then now we're going to start on the inner one, or inside or lower. Usually upper and lower is used when you have a raised wreath form. The ones from Dollar Tree aren't raised. I'm only using 2 ribbons tonight because last week I screwed up my ribbons. So I said, we're just going to use 2 ribbons tonight. That way I can't mess them up. One thing I hate when you do the outer ribbon first is you hide some of your ties. That's alright, we'll find them. Last week was really bad when I had these colored ties and jute colored mesh and they were the same color. I ordered some Christmas ribbon, a lot, I want to do, if anybody's been to my Etsy shop, it's the little angel and the kisses. Snowflakes are heaven's kisses. I found this really easy way. Have you ever bought floral flowers and they're just, you know, they come in a box, right? And they're just crammed. They're all wrinkled. They look horrible. So I saw this, I don't remember if I saw it on Pinterest or if I saw it on YouTube, is you use a steam iron or a steamer, like you do your curtains or your fabrics or your clothes, and you steam your flowers. It works. Boy got me a, I don't know, $12 steamer at Walmart, and I was steaming leaves right before we came on. Makes them just go soft and unroll. Makes even the cheap stuff from Dollar Tree look nice. The weather was a lot cooler today. I was actually cold this morning. I turned the air conditioner off. I know, right? Yeah, me and Becky, I turned the air conditioner off. I think the black and white is just classic. You can use it for almost every season. woodland ruffle is a good one if you have some mesh. If maybe some mesh frays a little more. Don't buy mesh at Dollar Tree. Joann Fabrics mesh is pretty, especially the ombre mesh. The ombre mesh from Joann Fabrics is absolutely horrible. I'm gonna let my granddaughter have it. But the woodland ruffle will roll your edges in so it won't fray. I think that's why I like it so much. I don't have to trim it later because I will not sell a wreath that's got a bunch of stuff hanging around on it. Go. Angela! See, it's 7, 8, 9, 10. It's 10 o'clock in California. No, Angela signed on. Hi, Melissa. I have not. Oh, you're brave. You're a newbie, and you're already using the boards. I've got a round board, but I still haven't tried it yet.
It's only 4:30.
Oh, it's behind me, isn't it? I think it was ahead of time. Where's my other one?
She corrected you.
Sorry. Floyd corrected me too. Where's my other one? Oh, there it is. I'm almost afraid to do the tree board, but you can make it. You can make an angel on the tree one. I'll have to look at that. Newburgh. Why have I heard of Newburgh? Is that along 74? I'm originally from Illinois. So you can either wait till the end to trim some of your frays, or I kind of, if I see some now, I tend to. So we have all of our background on it. So if you want to do, if you've ever heard of a pancake wreath, if you want to put them between a door and a storm door, that's what a lot of people will use as a pancake wreath. See, it's really, really thin. That way, because you don't want to put more than probably 6 inches between a door unless you have a really thick opening. But this would be something that you could consider like a pancake wreath to put between 2 doors. But it's going to get a lot thicker.
Ruth wants to know where you got your ribbon.
This ribbon rack over here, we built all this. The mesh is just really shelves, and the ribbon rack over there is 1x6, basically a 1x6 shelf, and it's got some molding on the front of it to keep it from rolling off. It's a lot cheaper than buying the shoe racks and the wire shelving, and plus it'll come off in all one piece if we ever want to move it, or those wire racks are, you know, all these little pieces and holes, and we've got plaster. That's why I thought I'd heard of it, Melissa. I'm originally from around Champaign, Illinois, so Roy is making me one now. I thought he made you one like 2 weeks ago. He was building it on your live, and he tried to hang it above your head. So now we're going to make the orange black border ruffles. These are again 25 inches, but we're just going to do a plain ruffle. We're not going to do the woodland ruffle. We're just going to do a plain one. So it's best to put them, like when they curl, put them down, and then put your weight. Put your phone, put your scissors, and then you're going to put your thumbs down on the bottom like this. And then you're going to take your fingers and you're going to walk it up the middle. We're trying to get our camera set up to where we can show a above shot too, so it can be a lot better. Stay in the middle though, because if you go off to the sides, you're going to have a lopsided ruffle. Always making you something else. So here's a ruffle. So you can either do them up, and you're gonna like have a lot of movement upwards, or you can do it down. I tend to do mine down, so your edges will kind of wrap around each other and not fray so bad. So we're gonna do our orange black border in every other tie. I was just gonna say that. I don't have any more room in here to put any more. I have like little slivers of walls between doors or windows. We're talking about getting me a shed.
Better sell a bunch of wreaths.
I have to sell a bunch of wreaths first. I have more ribbon that's up there. I have, my island is on 3 of the 9 QB storage things, and so I started putting like red and black and blue in the bins. So then if I need black, I just pull out a bin. And then I've already removed Easter's in a bin with the rest of the Easter stuff. I've removed 4th of July. So yeah. I'm sure you've been doing it a lot more than I have, Angela, so I'm sure you have a lot more. Hi, Emily. I didn't see it, Donna. Is there Donna?
Yeah, my cousin Donna.
Oh, hi, Donna. So we're going every other one. So when you put on your ruffle, it's going to be just met out there. It's kind of hard to do one-handed, but you're kind of just overlap them. I kind of mix it ruffle up more like a circle. This is why I want an overhead camera so I can show you better. I just follow. I try to do that. I try to keep all my colors together in my seasons. Hindsight 2020, I wish I'd make the shelves a little bit deeper. But you can never have too much ribbon. Wait till he sees the box I ordered.
Not much surprises me anymore.
He said not much surprises him. I ordered from Deco Exchange this time. Melissa, this is actually my third live. So I was scared to death. I did my first one 2 weeks ago. Yep, 2 weeks ago. I was sick to my stomach all day at work. Angela would help me share to the groups, so I didn't have to worry about that. My husband didn't know really how to do that either, so he's learned how to do that now. Tonight we had some technical difficulty and it just wasn't working, so we don't know if it went through or not.
It went.
Oh, did it go? Okay.
From your phone.
Oh, from my phone. Okay. The computer tonight is just like being a mind of its own. So, actually, third live. Just do it. Everybody just told me, just do it. Just do it. The way I have kept some of my time down, because I'm not as fast as everybody else, is have a lot of your stuff cut and prepped. I had all my mesh cut. I have my ribbons almost, I have them all measured out. I just have to cut them apart and chevron the ends. This time I already made my bow. That's right, Angela. We learned together and made happy accidents. I tell you what, Angela, though, it was priceless that day when Floyd did something. He goes, "It's just a happy accident." I know, Melissa. I know you're like, I don't know what to do, and I was literally, and I'm not a shy person, really. I'm not, but I was sick to my stomach because when you talk to a group of people, you see faces, and you have, you know, they laugh or they clap or they, you know, you have some interaction. And with lives, you're just like, you see all these words, and that's all you can see. But it's gotten easier, and I'm a talker, so that's why I goofed up last week, because I was just talking and screwed up something. But even if you don't have hardly anybody watch your live, it still keeps going. You know, as they say, if it's on the internet, it's on there forever. People can still see it and watch it. You know, if they can't watch the whole thing, they can watch the replay. Because there's always going to be someone. I kind of got disheartened in the beginning that, oh, I tried to do a live on somebody's night. You know, I didn't want to do one on the same night as somebody else in my group. But it's going to happen. You're welcome. Melissa, you let me know when you do your first live, and I'll come watch you. Unless I'm at work. Okay, so we got our outer ones, every other one. And now we're going to do the middle. Though I'm going to have some extra time, and Becky, are you still on here? You're going to learn this Thursday. I'm going to have about 4 to 6 weeks off work. I have to have a surgery on my foot. So I can just watch a lot of people's lives. Yes, from my recliner. The first week he says I have to stay in my recliner. I said, good, I have a husband that can wait on me. Either Becky's not listening or she's left, because I'm not surprised that she hasn't said something. So when you make your ruffle, you're gonna have some fraying, see, and we'll just trim it up after we're done. You know, the more you mess with your mesh, it's gonna ravel. When is surgery? A week from Thursday, Becky. So I'll be there one more week. You're the only Walmart person that knows. So if you haven't already, I'd appreciate if you would spread the love, share the news, whatever you want to say, because I can't say them other words, to help my page grow. Okay, Angela, bye. some people say walk up your ruffle. I sometimes will make my ruffle walk to me with my fingers. Kind of just depends. And your mesh will stick to each other, but it's okay. Just be careful not to pull on it too hard, because it will fray on you really good then.
You're going to be on medical leave. Thank you for going on vacation.
Oh, sucks to be them. I can say that on Facebook. You know what? It will be okay. It'll have to be, right?
Becky says you can vote Robert's
There you go. First week I have to stay in my recliner, he said. He doesn't want me going anywhere. He goes, I don't even want you going to the kitchen making a box of macaroni and cheese. I said, good, because I don't need it. Okay, here's our last ruffle. I thought I was missing one. So, I boo-booed, but I can fix this one easy. I thought I cut one too many, and I forgot a ruffle here, a woodland ruffle. So I went to skip, and I'm like, where's my skip? No biggie, I'll stick it in there. As Angela says, yes it will. They'll just have to live. Where'd it go? I could swear, oh, maybe that was my tie. When you can't see, if you missed one, go back here on the back. And I'm going to put this one in there though, because you don't want to leave a hole in the middle, because your sign or whatever you have will sink. So you just want to, whatever color you want, whether it be the black and white or the orange, you kind of just stick it here and attach it to that cross member. Because then it'll be, it'll fill up the middle. And that way for your sign or whatever you have in the middle is there, it won't sink down in. Some people cover the backs of their wreaths. I don't, but I just make sure that all my pipe cleaners are nice and tight, none flying everywhere. So see, we stuck that there in the middle. So here's our base. I think that looks pretty cool. Another Melissa. Hi, Melissa. So I started cutting the ribbons. If you haven't joined us, here's a green plaid. My ribbon tails are 12 inches. And then we're going to dovetail, chevron, whatever you want to call it. Some people will, not very many, but some people will leave theirs cut at a slant. Most people will dovetail theirs. Some people will put their tails a little longer. I don't like mine very long because I don't want that extra ribbon to not stand out. I want it to stand out. I don't want it to flop over. So I haven't cut my pumpkin yet. Some people sell what they call perfect tails. It's thin boards or acrylic. that they use to wrap their wood or wrap their ribbon around and count how many tails you need. I bought this at Joann's. It's just a 12-inch acrylic. It's a quilter's ruler, basically. But since I always use my tails at 12 inches, you just wrap your ribbon around it, and then you take it off and you cut it. Uh-oh. This one. I went on the hunt for pumpkins today. Since I just started doing this year, I don't have a stash. You know, every year, most everybody that's been doing it for over a year has a stash from year to year. And then they usually have more. Like, I will have Easter like there is no other for next year. I probably won't have to buy any Easter. I don't have no pumpkins. I bought some little pumpkins, but I was looking for some big pumpkins. So I went looking. Still didn't find any today. I think Hobby Lobby has some. Hi Terry, welcome to my page. It's a Walmart reunion. For those of you just joining, we are making the farm fresh pumpkin. We got our tails all cut. Oh, I lost one. So last week I took my bundles and I put them in not done together. This week I had some time while right before supper, so I went ahead and made the bundles, and then it's just a little bit. Some people make them a bundle, some people take the 3 rolls and put them in like that, but we're going to put them where the orange is not. So where there's orange, you're not going to put a bundle. Here's my daughter. Hi, Chelsea. My granddaughter's watching. So, and then you just fluff it together. So, see? You'll have your orange, and then you'll have your bundles of maroon and moss green and cream. Ashley said tonight, when we come up, I said, oh, I forgot to order more cream. I used my last roll tonight. He goes, I cannot believe you didn't order any more. Because I just ordered like a bunch of stuff. And I never get in the habit, well, not everybody, a lot of people puts their ribbon in as they go around. And I just never get in that habit. I don't know why, but we're going to try and get in the habit tonight. So we have a 2.5 inch green plaid and then a 1.5 inch pumpkin. Oh, they're all playing. So we're going to put ribbon in all the ties. Got to have the ribbon. Make sure you put 3 good twists in there. Some people will leave their ties and maybe like roll them around a pencil and twist them up. Those who buy a work wreath form that has a really thick ties, They tend to leave those in. I do not. I just don't like them sticking up, but that's just, again, a personal preference. So you always want, usually a lot of people will put their ties, their ribbon ties, see, pointing out. You'll want your whole outside pointing out. You'll kind of push them to where they're every other. And then in the middle, you can do it the same way, or you can just crisscross them. Some fraying going on. This is my top. Top we're going to crisscross. So you kind of just, you always want to use wire ribbon. When I first started, I tried to use some cheaper ribbon. Satin is a no-no. It's a no-no. No satin. It's horrible, in my opinion, for wreath making. Satin is good for making cemetery saddles and maybe some floral arrangements. So we're just going to crisscross our ribbons. See, this is crisscrossing. Okay? My husband's doing something funky over there. I'm just cutting off the chenille stems to the bundles because we don't need them. Because we still have our chenille stems down here for when we tied everything on. So we'll use those. Because you just don't need anything extra hanging down there. Believe it or not, once you start getting all this stuff on there, they're not very long at all. If you can't tell where the middle is, just fold it up. Like this, just fold it in half. That'll show you where your middle is. And then just kind of pinch it in the middle. Have like a little bow tie. And you can jerk on them. You tie them down right, you can jerk on them. Kind of like run your fingers along them wires. We call it tulipping them out. Kind of makes them have a little bit of curl at the end. Is it dark? Because you know what, I just thought about it. I didn't turn my light on tonight. Is it still bright enough, everybody? By September, we'll start making breast cancer awareness wreaths. We'll probably make a couple of those. make sure you have at least 3 good ties on your pipe cleaners, or else, because you don't want these, especially if you're selling them, you don't want them coming apart. Or if you're just making them for yourself, don't want them coming apart on you. Terry, what'd you make lately? What have you made? Last time I seen you, you had glass candlesticks in your hand. So see how it's thickening up? The more you put on it, the more it will thicken up. Bundle. Maybe I made it one extra. Yep, so I ran into the other one. I made one extra. So then now we're just going to put our ribbon tails on the outside . So they can point out. Now this is where the personal preference of how long your tails are. Mine will just go just past the end of the mesh, because that's how I like them. Some people like them longer. See, mine are just going to peek out there. That's how I like mine. I love fall. They have such pretty colors. Whew. There's another daughter. Hi, Alicia. How's Gavin's foot? I think this green ribbon like really gives it a pop. All the colors are kind of dark. That's good. I was worried his foot was going to be swollen. He wouldn't be able to put his shoes on. Or his cleats. Around there. Got some frays I'll have to trim at the very end. I'm gonna try. Cut my ties off in the middle so I don't see them. I just kind of like, I cut them off a little bit and then I tuck them down under. Once it starts getting real nice and full, it's real easy to lose your ties. Cut me another tie. Again, I didn't cut enough pumpkin. Once it's snuck underneath here. Here. One little pumpkin. Too short. I found out if you can buy your ribbon in the 50-yard spools, it's a lot cheaper. I mean, it's an initial investment, but it's a lot cheaper. So I didn't cut one pumpkin, so we'll just cut it real quick. So here's what I was talking about. A really fast way to cut your ribbon is if you would just keep on going around and around. Only one. So, but you would just wrap it around as many times as you need. I guess I lost count. And a good pair of scissors is a must. I mean, I have Ginger scissors, which are pretty expensive, except for I use the coupon at Joann's. Really good scissors are a must. Sharp scissors. Just don't cut yourself. Alright, so now we have all of our tails on, our ribbon tails. Okay, see here? So now I've already made a bow. I cheated. So I used some pumpkins in a wagon and some bright green stripe and some orange diamond, and then I went back to the darker colors of red plaid and red, orange, and moss green stripe, and then I ended off with my pumpkin, like what's in the ribbon. You always want to use your ribbon tails in your bow to make a match. You don't have to, but I do. So, and then fluff your bow out. It takes me a while to make a bow, that's why I kind of made it beforehand. And we'll tie it on. Here's our sign. Floyd made today. So these are jewelry, I always forget what they're called. Jewelry hole punch. They have a different name, but they put the smallest little hole. I don't even know if you can see that. It's like a little tiny, tiny hole. It's like really big fishing line. But we're going to use wire. 26 gauge wire. Pretty thin, and it will hide itself pretty good in your don't laugh, I have to stand on a stool. I can't see on top of the wreath to kind of see where I want to put it. So 26 gauge wire, it's pretty thin wire. You don't want to use too thick a wire. Number one, it won't be hidden as well. It's a little harder to work with. I put 4 holes, one in each corner, so we'll put 4 wires on it. These signs are 8 by 12. A little bit bigger sign than a lot of people use. We do make 8 by 8-inch round ones. We make 6 by 12s. I don't know. I kind of like this size. Just twist it on there really good. Hi, Jen. There's 2. Of course, I dropped the third one. There we go. So just twist the wires on. You have 4 wires. You can put your sign in the middle. You can put it off to the side. You can put it up in the corner. It kind of just depends on what you're going to put on your wreath. Some people put a lot of things in the wreath. Some people don't put very much. I tend to be on the modest side. Just because if you put too much stuff in your wreath, you're not going to see the main body of the wreath. It's kind of your preference in what you want. Good thing about wire is it will run through the mesh. I kind of move it off to the side as much as I can. You want to try to hit your wire form, but like that's why we put that cross member in the back. So if you can't hit it, you can attach it to that. The more layers of mesh you put on your wreath, the more you got to go through. Now you don't want to put this too tight because then you're going to have a sign that's like pushing all your mesh down, and I didn't even get through the wire form. Imagine that. There we go. Attach it to the back. Make sure when you're done putting your wreath or your sign where you want it, that you don't have any extra wires sticking out. You don't want it to scratch anybody's door. There's 2. If you can't find a way to go through, just push your mesh over. You can always push it back. Remember not to, you want to pull down on your sign wire. Just want to kind of, you want it snug, but you don't want it too tight. Okay, one more. Go back and some of your ribbons will get tucked under, some you'll have to rearrange a little bit. see there, got your sign on. It's not, you don't want it to push down too much, but you don't want it to come off either. That one right there. Okay, let's put our bow on. I think these are so cute. They're little wagon, or little, little wheelbarrows full of pumpkins. Just like the sign, you don't want to pull your bow down. You don't want to pull it down into the wreath. You just want it to sit on top real snug. If your ribbon loops are going across your sign, that's fine. You just don't want it to hide too much of your sign. Good way to get your ribbon tails to curl is just they're wired edge, so they're going to go where you want them to. Just run them through your hand like you're curling ribbon on a Christmas package. How's that look? Boy, I wish this wasn't delayed. Oh, hi, Zach. Oh, there we go. So if you want to, you could put some embellishments on it. You could put pumpkins in it. I've got some little pumpkins here that I bought. The biggest thing is you never take a bunch and stick it in the wreath. If it's flowers or pumpkins or anything, you always want to tear it apart or cut it apart. And you can glue into Deco mesh just like you can a floral wreath. Let's cut these apart. They're all wire too, they'll cut apart. Sometimes it's just a little harder than the other. I have a glue pot. And you just kind of stick them in there, stick them down where you've got a little bit of mesh to grab onto the glue. I've got a glue pot that's got a temperature control on it, so I don't have the glue up real high, and then it'll set really fast. This little bunch, these came from Craft Outlet. Look, it's even replicating moss or mold or whatever it is that grows between them. I need a couple more. And as little or as much as what you want to put on them is up to you. Put maybe one. Oop. See, we'll pull out, just put a little glue on the end of your wire and glue it back in. Fit it back in the hole. There we go. These actually came from the Dollar Tree. They're little pomegranates. You always want to push your greenery. I always like to push my greenery up. Gives you more stem to work with. You can put leaves on it if you want. I think I'm not. So there we go. Put leaves out here if you wanted to, fall leaves. I think I'm just going to leave a pomegranate and pumpkin. So thank you for hanging out with us. And watch our Backroom Creations page for our next live. And if you'd like to see what we have for sale, feel free to hit the shop button and it'll take you to our Etsy page. So thank you, and we'll see you next time. Bye bye.